The Middle East is burning. There's no peace in Ukraine. Inflation is surging. Donald Trump's trade war against the world is failing. Donald Trump is federalizing National Guard troops and sending the National Guard and the Marines against United States citizens. This is a dumpster fire presidency of the highest degree. The video I showed you at the outset of this video, the clip I showed you, were fires continuing to burn in the Iranian capital of Tehran following new strikes by Israel in an all-out war right now between Israel and Iran. Israel began with preemptive attacks 2 days ago on Iranian nuclear sites and residential buildings, engaging in decapitation strikes against dozens of Iranian military leaders and other leaders. And then Iran retaliated against Israel, attacking buildings in Israel and causing significant damage as well. Take a look right here of some of the footage of Iran's most recent strikes in Tel Aviv. You can see right here. Again, all-out war is now taking place. Here, play this clip. As Brian Tyler Cohen, our friend, says, the, quote, "I'll lower cost and get us out of endless wars" candidate is now presiding over surging costs and brand new wars. And Iran just issued the following warning as well, that they will be attacking military bases of any country that defends Israel. Now, while all of that is going on, you have Donald Trump finishing up his final preparations for his dictator parade today. Donald Trump throwing a dictator Kim Jong-un style parade for himself. You can see the soldiers marching in this performance for him, as Donald Trump has co-opted the 250th anniversary of our army, and he's going to have the tanks and the missiles and the howitzers all kind of march through Washington, D.C., damage the city. They claim it's only going to cost $45 million. I think it's going to cost nearly $500 million. I think they're hiding the costs. But here's the final preparations of what it looks like. Yes, what I'm showing you is not North Korea. This is the United States. Here, play this clip. Here's Melania getting ready for the parade right there. And here is Caitlyn Jenner, who's actually stuck in Tel Aviv right now in Israel. I'm not sure why I'm showing those photos back to back like that, but whatever. Here are, just take a look right here of what, this is a residential area in central Israel right here. And you can see the damage that's been caused by some of the Iranian ballistic missiles that hit. Here, play this clip.
Ya Allah, Yom Shabbat. Yo, yo, yo. סוף העולם, yo. Yo, סוף העולם. אתם לא רואים? חבר'ה, לא רלוונטי, אתם מפריעים לנו, לא סליחה. Yo.
And by the way, no presidential address from Donald Trump, no statements, no clarity what's taking place at all. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, writes, can we at least get an update on how much the new proxy war is going to cost us while we're passing a bill with a record $1 trillion defense budget? Without this and massive debt exploding deficits, our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, also writes, we're at war with Iran. Trump's gone into hiding. Nobody will tell us our objectives, plan, or endgame. Our Secretary of Defense is a useless dipshit. Our Secretary of State lied about it. Our Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, loves the leader of Iran's greatest ally. That would be Putin. And now we're having a parade for Donald Trump's birthday. And y'all remember what went down on Thursday? So on Thursday, Donald Trump made a social media post saying that the negotiations with Iran over a potential nuclear deal were productive. There was set to be discussions, another round, I think like the 6th round of nuclear discussions were set to take place on Sunday. Marco Rubio reposted Donald Trump saying that he looks forward to productive negotiations. Then we learned a few hours later that Israel began their preemptive strikes against nuclear facilities in Iran and the decapitation exercises, killing all of these military leaders and other leaders in Iran. Then Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, posted a statement saying the U.S. has nothing to do with this. This is the unilateral act of Israel. The United States is not involved at all. Then we saw Israel putting out messages through their military saying, nope, the U.S. was very much involved. We couldn't have done this without the U.S. The U.S. helped every aspect of this. They gave us the green light. We're using U.S. weapons. We use their logistics. And then it seemed on Thursday night into Friday morning that this was a very successful operation by Israel. They killed a lot of the big bad guys in Iran. So Donald Trump got that message. So then Donald Trump wanted to make himself, like in his own mind, the central protagonist in this. So he took credit as though he was the one who ordered the strikes. So after Marco Rubio said the U.S. had nothing to do with the war in Iran and the war breaking out in the Middle East, Donald Trump's like, I did it. He makes this long post. I gave Iran a chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest words to just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told. That the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far. And that Israel has a lot of it with much more to come. And they know how to use it, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead right now. He says that the hardliners should have listened. They are dead and it's going to get much worse. And so Trump was trying to act like a tough guy because Iran had not launched its retaliation. And now Iran's launched its retaliation. All hell is breaking loose. And then Donald Trump went back into his bunker and all he wants to think about is his dictator parade. By the way, here's Melania again. And here is Caitlyn Jenner, stuck in Tel Aviv right now. I want to show you this too. I get asked a lot, just like the research tools that I use to find a lot of this stuff. I use a research tool called Ground News because I want to see stories like what's being covered by the right, what's being covered by the left, what's being covered by the center. So Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is urging Iranians to stand up and let their voices be heard and topple the Iranian regime. I mean, this is how delusional Netanyahu is. He thinks that he's going to put out a statement to Iran and the people of Iran are going to be like, yes, Netanyahu, we're listening to you. But this is being fed to the right wing. And so all the right wing people, you know, in all the right wing publications are sending this out to their people and they're giving like their readers and viewers hope that like, I guess regime change is coming. Netanyahu has it under control. And it's like, no, he doesn't. That's why it's important just to have, I think, the appropriate media diet and know what they're talking about on the right, what they're talking about on the left. So I use Ground News to do that. It's an essential service, at least in my view, for cutting through the double standards in the current media ecosphere. If you go to ground.news/MTN or scan the QR code, we're going to give our viewers 40% off this incredible research tool I use at Ground News. Their top tier Vantage plan, which I use, get access to it. It'll give you unlimited access to everything. It's subscriber funded. They don't rely on ads that could introduce bias, and subscribing to Ground News supports us at the MeidasTouch Network. Ground.news/MTN. I use a feature called Blind Spot. So I say, what are they talking about on the right? What are they talking about on the left? Are there blind spots? And that helps me craft these videos that I do. So go to ground.news/MTN or scan the QR code. We're giving our viewers 40% off. So go and check that out. All right, back to the video here. As Ryan Grimm points out, the U.S. and Iran were scheduled to meet Sunday to continue nuclear talks. Trump told Israel publicly and privately not to attack before the talks were over. Israel clearly believes they can force the U.S. into any war of their choosing. And frankly, every country views Donald Trump as absolutely weak. I mean, just on Friday, the following headlines we saw. India and U.S. are hardening their trade stance as July tariff deadline nears. Remember, Trump said, We're very close to getting the India deal done. Remember the videos I've been showing you about furious India pissed off at Donald Trump? So you would have known, by the way, I used ground news to get as part of my research tools. You would have known by watching us, there's no deal in India happening anytime soon. Same thing. You would have known no deal with Japan happening soon. Here was the headline. Japan and U.S. still far apart in tariff talks. Prime Minister Ashiba is saying that the United States is basically not respecting Japan at all. That shouldn't come as a surprise to you. By the way, the United States has done 0 deals in 90 days. They didn't do a deal with UK. It was a memorandum of understanding that literally says this is not a binding deal. There's no deal with China. It was a consensus and then a framework to implement the consensus where the US caved and brought 145% tariffs down to 55% tariffs. And then China basically said, we'll give you rare earth minerals that you were getting before, but only for a 6-month period. And the US was like, thank you. What a great deal we got. Now we have a 6-month deadline on rare earth minerals, and now we're taxing Americans 55%. It's like the stupidest negotiation ever that you can possibly imagine. Oh, and then in between all of Donald Trump's posts about, I'm the one who gave Iran the deadlines. I did this. There's this photo. This is the advertisement on Trump's social media platform. It's an AI photo of Donald Trump wearing an orange jumpsuit. And it says innocent, yes or no. Tap to submit the poll. That's the ads they're doing. I'm going to say no, he's not innocent, but just that's how he's grifting off of his supporters, putting himself in an orange jumpsuit. You don't get more kind of grifty than that. Tucker Carlson just came out with a statement saying Trump is complicit in the act of war. U.S. should drop Israel. That's what's coming out from Tucker Carlson. We're also learning, John Favreau's writing, have heard from multiple sources that ICE is now going from park to park in Los Angeles, arresting caregivers, some who are legal residents, and separating them from their American children they're caring for. Kids are being thrown into the back of a van until their parents are located. I guess that's what the United States of America has come to. Donald Trump's put up fencing around D.C. because he's terrified of the No Kings protest today. I'm going to do a lot of videos on the No Kings protest. The MeidasTouch is the main news distributor of all things related to the No Kings protest. Here are the signs on Donald Trump's fences around Washington, D.C. He's using used and recycled Lollapalooza signs that say fence jumpers will be prosecuted. And while all of this is taking place too, I don't want you to be distracted from the disastrous budget bill that's going to take away health care from 16 million Americans. That's going to be the largest redistribution of wealth from low-income working class Americans to wealthy Americans. The billionaires will get trillions of dollars in tax cuts, while the hardworking working class Americans are going to get absolutely screwed. 14, 15 million people, 16 million people losing health care, losing food stamps, losing food assistance, losing rental assistance, while the billionaires get benefit after benefit. I'm going to do a lot more videos on the budget bill because I don't want us to get distracted. And also don't get distracted what Elon Musk said, that Donald Trump's name is all over the Epstein files, all over it. Elon Musk said, but that's not really a surprise. The Epstein files that have been released thus far, Trump's name's all over it. Trump's name's on the phone log, in the depositions, on the flight log. Trump said Epstein's a great guy who likes women on the younger side. Donald Trump partied with Epstein. We've got videos of Donald Trump clubbing with Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's sex trafficker, who was a co-conspirator with Epstein. She found the girls at Mar-a-Lago, like Virginia Giuffre, underage girl, homeless, working at Mar-a-Lago after being homeless, recruited by Ghislaine Maxwell, brought to Jeffrey Epstein, sex trafficked by Epstein, found in Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump's Doe 172 in the Epstein cases, like he's literally one of the Doe men who are mentioned. He's Doe 172. Trump's absolutely terrified of his name, of the broader links to him and Epstein. That's why they're not releasing the Epstein files. And again, I just don't want us to be distracted. And I want to remind you that Trump's all over it. And that's what Elon Musk says as well. So we'll keep you posted. Keep checking in throughout today. About every 90 minutes, as you know, come back to this YouTube channel. Maybe we'll hit 5 million subscribers today even. But keep checking back on this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million.
New Midas merch drop! Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.